This is the Monday broadcast of Market View. I am Nautilus Tole. Glad to have you on the program. The new tax law reports published by the Revenue Appeals Tribunal mark a significant step towards building a coherent body of tax precedent. The reports are expected to promote consistency in the interpretation of tax legislation, enhance transparency in tax dispute resolution, and provide a valuable reference for taxpayers, legal practitioners, accountants, and the Eswatini Revenue Service. Now, as Eswatini is working to strengthen tax administration and improve compliance, the availability of a dedicated record of tax decisions has the potential to shape how tax obligations are understood and managed. We'll speak to the Chief Executive Officer / Registrar of the Revenue Appeals Tribunal on the recently launched inaugural tax reports. But first, our business news. In our business update, civil servants will get the remainder of their salary review during a payday. The Minister for Finance, Honourable Nurwaikenberg, has reiterated government commitments to pay the money during the Ministry's Finance in Focus edition.
We constantly are now constantly raising money to be able to deal with certain cash flow constraints. SACU money has come in that has given us a certain amount of relief. We've paid quite a few suppliers. With SACU money coming in, we have withheld that money so that we can do that once-off to civil servants, do the last tranche of money that's due for the salary review that took place in 2025. That money is sitting there waiting for payday to be able to be released. And so we are in a better place after SACU, but we do need to raise a bit of capital now to be able to close a funding gap that we have in this year's budget and last year's supplementary budget. And so we're hoping that by month end, first, second week of August, that kind of money should come in, which should then give a lot more relief in the system. And things are going well. We're having good discussions along those fronts, and there's good movement along raising that money. At the same time, very busy in Parliament. We're busy passing legislation. It's now going to be going to Senate now. A lot of legislation just around tightening loopholes in tax. Our best way really to fix our financial issues in Eswatini is by closing loopholes in this tax system, not by increasing tax. We really hope not to have to come with any tax increases for a very long time. But because there are still gaps in our tax system that should be closed, people not paying VAT, those kind of things, we're working on those, and we believe that'll continue to increase the amount of tax that we can get. At the same time, in Eswatini, if one has to look at it very plainly, a lot of our tax comes from PAYE and VAT. And these two tax items really come from people being employed. And so at the moment, we collect more than 12 billion emalangeni from VAT and PAYE, which means that if the third of our population, which are unemployed, if they could get employed, it means that the 12 billion that we collect there could be 18 billion. And so our lowest hanging fruit as a country to be able to get more revenue is by getting eMaswati employed. That comes with just normal dignity and all the good things that come with being employed. But over and above that, it does raise the amount of money available to give service delivery better to eMaswati. So all efforts that are being done, government is really putting a huge effort in to try and constantly get more people employed.
The minister has also warned eMaswati against fake AI-generated messages purportedly from him, urging them to invest. He says he would never allow eMaswati to be misled through such false communications.
You'll see that there's social media clips about the Minister of Finance using this same platform that we use on our Finance in Focus, telling eMaswati to invest in certain places, mentioning companies to invest with big returns. please, Maswati, understand that this is fake news. Unfortunately, there's people that use these same clips that we produce here and use AI to make me say things that I really did not say. And so, please, Maswati, number one, whenever you see me saying telling Maswati you need to invest in this product and naming companies where you should invest in, I would never do that. So please, if ever even that stuff comes out again in the future, I would never say invest in this one, invest in that one. It'll be wrong of the Minister of Finance to isolate certain companies, say invest in this company, as if you shouldn't. The Minister of Finance, I'm finance of all the financial institutions, and I would never choose one to say this is the one to invest in Maswati.
The minister has promised that government is doing everything possible to raise the necessary funds to enable fulfillment of all her obligations. Reporting, Nelson Langamandla, visuals from the Ministry of Finance.
The Eswatini Financial Intelligence Center has been admitted into the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Units. The center's admission into the Egmont Group is expected to boost investor confidence in the country, as it will provide a platform to analyze and assess financial integrity on the international stage alongside more than 180 countries. This was according to Calvin Lamini, Director of Compliance and Prevention, during an interview. The center was supported by the Ministry of Finance and different partners, including COMESA, to get this recognition.
It will improve the efficiency of our work. So, as you know, Financial Intelligence Center is responsible for the receipts and the receipt of suspicious transaction reports from accountable institutions. And then we analyze these reports using various data sources. And then we disseminate these intelligence reports to the various law enforcement agencies of the country. We've got REPS, Royal Eswatini Police Services. We've also got ERS for tax evasion crimes. We've also got ACC for the corruption cases. So generally that's our key mandate. We are also a regulator for all these accountable institutions. They are we want to ensure that they comply with their AML safety obligations. So we are a creature of statute. We administer the Money Laundering and Financing of Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011 as amended. We have now been enrolled into the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Units. So this is just a group of the various intelligence units across the globe. That group has got a membership of about more than 180 countries. So being part of this group enables us to operate efficiently. So we'll now be able to analyze even cross-border transactions. As we fight these financial crimes, we'll be able to engage a lot of these our counterparts from various countries across the globe. We usually use the word international cooperation. So we were found wanting when the country was assessed 2022 we were assessed, we were checked if we were complying with the AML CFT global standards. So it was a weakness for the country. So now that we are part of this group, I think we now comply with most of these AML safety international standards. We will now be given access to the web-based platform for the Egmont Group of FIUs, where we will be making requests for intelligence and then receive these intelligence reports from the various financial intelligence units across the globe. We will also be able to share, using this secure platform, some of our intelligence reports upon requests. So it's a major milestone for the country to be admitted. It's also a peer-to-peer learning platform, because we know that these launderers, they change now and again. There's a lot of sophistication. So we will learn from other jurisdictions how they manage these financial crime risks. And we'll also share what the country does to comply with these international standards. Since now we will be at that level, we will be assessing, analyzing international level stage. So now it's good for the country since it boosts even investor confidence, because these are some of the things that are being checked by potential investors to say, do you comply with international standards when it comes to the financial integrity of the country or the global financial systems? How do you protect the systems?
And you're up to date with some of the latest in business. A conversation with the Revenue Appeals Tribunal Eswatini coming up shortly after this.
To all the viewers of Eswatini TV in the kingdom and beyond. Eswatini TV is regulated by the Eswatini Communications Commission through the Broadcasting Code and Broadcasting Guidelines. Under these instruments, the station commits to broadcasting information and news that have been fact-checked, programs and content in respectful language with no elements of hate speech, violence or sexual activity. If you hear any unsuitable content on this channel, you have a right to voice your complaints with the station management. Should you not be satisfied with the response or action taken, you can escalate your matter to the Communications Commission at PO Box 7811 Babani. Call 2406 7000 or send an email to info@esccom.org.za. For more information, visit www.esccom.org.za.
Kolumhle sitawuchubeka nalo hlelo evikini leliphelile libandla lelibuke ukucatulula tikhalo tebatheli Revenue Appeals Tribunal letfule libhuku lelicuketse tisombululo tetikhalo temthelo lesetisebentiwe tefika emaphethelweni letingasebenziswa nasetinkantolo ekucatululeni letinye tikhalo tetemthelo letitawuvela i-tax law report yeminyaka wa 2023 kuya ku-2025 kanti manje sesivele sinayo umphathi waleli bandla Nelsiwe Hlophe lotawusichazela kabanti ngale bhuku nebumcoka balo mabhengu sikuvusele sikwamukele ehlelweni sibonga kakhulu isikhathi sakho kumbe nje sowungasipha sithombe ukuthi kahle kahle yini lama tax law reports nokuthi acukethe ema cases noma ke ama decisions lamangaki.
Thank you so much, Msakati Siyabonga. Maybe umumva ngacala just recap nje ukuthi what is this Revenue Appeals Tribunal? The Revenue Appeals Tribunal was established through the enactment of the Act, which is the Revenue Appeals Tribunal Act number 13 of 2019. So the establishment was driven by the fact that there was a need in the country to establish an independent or a quasi-judicial body to adjudicate on tax disputes arising from the decision of the Commissioner General. So the mission of the tribunal is very clear. We are issuing a ruling that are competent and transparent, ones that are going to be trusted by the members of the public. So the purpose of the launch last week, Wednesday, was to formally present to Eswatini a consolidated, or rather an authoritative record of all the decisions that have been issued by the tribunal since inception. So that publication in Msakati was intended to enhance transparency and promote equitance, to promote consistency in decision making. Eswatini kubona ukuthi tribunal ngabe seyisebente kangakanani. The tribunal since inception, it has received a total of about 44 cases from since inception. So ulama cases that they have received, the tribunal was able to complete about 36 cases, leaving 8 pending before the tribunal. Ulama cases that have been completed by the tribunal, tribunal ibone kukuhle that we consolidate all the landmark decisions so that they become accessible to the members of the public. Siyazi ukuthi lama law reports ethu noma ke live la kangwane liyaqala kuba nema tax law reports in the country. So we believe that by presenting this judgment to the members of the public, atabasida kwenda ima reference ku ma cases that they are going to face or ima disputes that they are going to face in future.
Published mapping kulama reports, the inaugural reports like Avarisha 2022 kuya 2025. What do those decisions tell us nasibuka in nature of tax disputes even la Eswatini?
Thank you so much, Msakati. The decisions are going to play an important role, especially to the tax jurisprudence of the country, because the tribunal, when looking at the cases that were lodged before them, they were in a position to interpret some of the provisions that are in the 3 domestic legislations in the country. So for me, I feel like they've been given an opportunity, or they've been afforded an opportunity as a tribunal to pronounce some of these provisions that requires interpretation, so that becomes clear to all the Swazis what is expected of them nangabe badibana ne tax dispute kuye Commissioner General.
Tax reports, what impact do you expect them to have kubobatheli bameli mhlawumbe ma accountants nakunje ma tax consultants as a approacher dona tindzaba the tax disputes?
Thank you so much. For me, this marks a significant step, especially in building a homegrown body of tax law, using our own national law, especially the legal legislations governing the collection of tax in the country. You know that previously, like I've already mentioned, that this is the first time Eswatini is having a tax law report. So previously, the courts, the tax practitioners, and the taxpayer and the tax administrators, they rely on foreign jurisprudence, which, while persuasive, but it was not binding within the country's legal system. So we are happy today that we are going to have a tax law reports where the tribunal has unpacked the provision, or they have interpreted the tax legislations in the country and resolved the tax disputes. So while those jurisprudence that we borrowed from foreign countries, those ones, as much as they provide valuable guidance, but it can never replace a body of law developed within our own country. So we are happy that now going forward, the Eswatini, they are going to use the tax law reports. Even I think at the university, they are going to use that as a reliable reference source in the development of the tax jurisprudence in the country.
See, the reports will be made accessible to all. There will be accessed if you believe publication yawo will encourage voluntary tax compliance.
Letichibote tumsakati titawusita kakhulu like ngishito ukuthi i-tribunal when deciding the matters bazame ngalokusemandleni ukuthi bacatulule noma ba-unpack some of the provisions which were not clear lebeka wasebenzisa yena Commissioner General nakakweleka wona umthelo. So nyalo going forward, taxpayer would know that nang dibena this kind of dispute ngidawati ukuthi ngidawusebenzisa miphi imithetho yami ukuze ngichallenge leyo maybe assessment yami le nginiketwe nguye Commissioner General. So atawudlala inzima lenkulu vele nasetikolweni bo university ngoba lo mthetho i-tribunal izama ngalokho semandleni ukuthi iwuchache neku-encourage yena taxman ukuthi these provisions that are not clear uyacela ukuthi at least they must develop guidelines that are going to unpack what the intention of the legislature kuleyo provision leyo.
Are these in any way, Mapeng, going to affect the way the Eswatini Revenue Service prepares, defends, or more so reviews its tax assessments?
Yes, Msakati, lamanye alama provisions, what we've noted as a tribunal when adjudicating on the tax appeals, we noted gaps in the legislation. Some of the legislations are not clear what is expected kuye taxpayer nagasa bhatala wona umthelo wakhe noma alungisa wona emabhuku. Lokunye lesiphikile siphike ukuthi kunetimvo letikhona letifaka ekhatsi nyalo siyabona boma online services are being offered nala Swatini. Lo mthetho wethu ke washaywa lebo 1975 awumithi the global standard kulamanye ama provision, but i-tribunal played a role in terms of unpacking the provision, lama provision lawo neku encourage kuye taxman ukuthi for those provisions that are not clear siyacela lokho ukuthi mane kube khona amendments la kendiwako so that going forward everything is clear. Nalokunye lesikubukile nje naku establishwa le organization we were happy as a tribunal because we know that for fair justice, there must be a clear separation of powers. Without the separation of powers, utawukhanza ukuthi abasakhona ibo taxpayer kusebenta kahle noma mhlambe sebayavala titolo tabo ngekuthi umthetho kubo awusuko clear kahle. Lama law reports ethu Msakati ayatholakala. We have hard copies that we've printed esidawatshela eMaswati where they can access those ones. Lamanye ayatholakala in our website where lama judgment ethu uploadiwe khona sisensitize bona abo taxpayer ukuthi if you come across a dispute le kanjena you can use this judgment as a reference point ngoba i-tribunal seyizamile kuyi-unpack what it means.
You've just hinted on the involvement of digital commerce. Among other issues, we do have cross-border transactions and emerging business models. How will the reports keep pace with such developments?
Lama reports ethu Msakati, they do have some cases unpacking those provisions that touches on issues, international, foreign services that are offered by foreign service providers. So sibana kokuthemba nje ukuthi eMaswati atawafunza lama judgment ethu abone ukuthi i-tribunal itichache kanjani, especially leto timvo lesethengiswa online latitholakala khona ukuthi ngabe livele kangwane ngeke lilahlekelwe imali letinengi if there is no amendment to meet the global standard currently.
Looking at the 44 appeals the tribunal has handled since its inception, what trends are emerging about tax compliance and tax administration in the country?
Thank you so much, Msakati. I think this, for me, reflects the scope and complexity of the tax disputes falling within the tribunal statutory mandate. Like I mentioned, that the tribunal has diligently adjudicated and completed about 36 appeals. For me, that ukhombisa the commitment ulama tribunal members would say a issue is a well-reasoned, fair, and legally sound judgment that are going to assist the country or the tax administrators ukuthi nabo they put umthetho wabo kahle batobona ukuthi going forward what is it that we're supposed to amend yini lekufanele singayi-amend so that we all meet the global standard lesibhekekile. Even we know that some of lama provisions in the legislations that we are using afake khathi principles that are governed by international bodies. They are applicable even in the country. So as a country, we are all expected to comply with those global principles.
Fair enough, Mapengo, sita ibekala inkulumo yetu. Sibonge kakhulu sikhathi sakho ngolumhlelo loyo nguNelsiwe Hlophe longumphathi welibandla le-Revenue Appeals Tribunal asichazela kabandi kulandzela ukuthi evikini leliphelile ekwethulwa libhuku lelibhuku ke noma ke lelicukethe tisombululo netikhalo letikhona temthetho sitawusa salikhefu nasibuya luhlelo luyachubeka.
Those that
are in pain must forget all the problems they have. Because the things of the earth have got no answer. But the answer that we have is all morning. When I'm preaching here, I'm preaching to myself. I receive the Holy Spirit.
I declare that a turnaround is coming my way.
Turnaround is coming in my life.
Welcome back. Moving on with the program, we'll speak to in-house economist analyst Sibia joining us virtually for Market Insights. Mr. Sibia, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. So we are seeing a nasty breakup between the U.S. and Iran, and we also do have Trump reportedly saying we're taking over the Strait of Hormuz. What do markets make of these developments?
Thank you, Notsile. So in terms of those developments, we're seeing the price of Brent crude oil up at the $78 per barrel mark. So it's inching back up again as we are seeing this resurgence of hostilities within between the U.S. and Iran. And then also we are just seeing that markets are somewhat taking it within somewhat of a stance. I think markets are waiting for eventual return to a closure of the Strait of Hormuz. So yes, we are seeing a bit of subdued economic activity throughout the markets as we are watching how that escalation is going and what it means for the ongoing peace talks. So in that regard, we're seeing the US, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 149 points at close, and the Nasdaq Composite Index up 74 points at close, and the S&P 500 up 31 points at close. Now that was before we saw a resurgence of these hostilities. And then coming into the European markets, FTSE 100 London is down to the 10,400 mark. Germany DAX flatlining at 25,000 mark, at the 25,000 level, and the CAC 40 down subdued to that 8,300 mark as we are looking at the movements along these hostilities. And then there's also issues to deal with, the AI stocks and the overvaluation fears, and we are seeing some of the chip manufacturers really not performing well in today's trade. In Japan, we're feeling the same effect, that resurgence of hostilities. The Nikkei is down 1,315 points. Shanghai, the Hang Seng in Hong Kong is up 38 points, and the Shanghai Composite Index is down 82 points in today's trade, following that reignition of hostilities between the US and Iran. And South Africa as well is taking the same cue. We're down 364 points in today's trade, given those hostilities, while markets are watching that. Eswatini, we remain on the same level. In terms of gold has dipped a bit to that 4,000 mark, $4,063 per ounce, given the fact that, inflation fears are back in the market, stoking, the need for central banks to raise interest rates. Brent crude oil is up 2.51 points, $78.52 per barrel. The currency remains relatively weak. We are weaker against the dollar. We're trading at 16.36 to the dollar, trading at 18.70 to the euro, down to 2.8 percentage points in today's trade, slightly up against the Japanese yen, as we are seeing a risk of sentiment regarding trade. Thank you, Nathalie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sibia. That was economist Anela Sibia coming through with market insights. This has been the Monday broadcast of Market View right here on Eswatini TV. From myself and the team, thank you so much for your company. Until next time, take care.